How to deal with loneliness. Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach. Today I'm talking about how to deal with loneliness. But before we get into this video, please leave a like on it and please do subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have anything you'd like me to discuss in a future video, then please leave it down in the comments, or if you have any tips and advice yourself. Thank you so much. When it comes to feeling lonely, the best method that I've always used was to focus on enjoy being alone. You have to find a way to enjoy your alone time, because if you like being alone and you can make that time that you're alone productive, then it won't matter so much when you are alone, because you can know how to make use of that time. So for me, I really enjoy being on my own. I enjoy when I have a few hours to myself. I really like it because I know how to use that time wisely. So for example, one of the things that I do is I listen to podcasts or something like that or audiobooks or lectures when I am on my own, or I read books or I journal. I do things in my alone time that I enjoy, that makes me feel good, that makes me feel productive. And also, when I'm on my own, I work on my business. So, I make YouTube videos like this, like at this current time, I'm on my own and this is what I'm doing. I'm making use of that time when my wife is away. I don't actually mind being alone. I don't mind it when my wife is not here, when she is away or she's at work. I like to have my time alone. I enjoy it. I appreciate it. Now, this doesn't mean that I don't like having my wife here, because I do, because that also makes me feel very, very comfortable. But it doesn't mean that when she's gone that I have no idea what to do with myself. I know what to do to keep myself feeling productive, to make me feel happy. I know how to make myself feel good when I'm alone. And that's what I suggest that you start doing yourself. Find a way to be productive in your alone time. If you do have a side business, then, work on your business or listen to audiobooks, podcasts, listen to something educational. Find something that you enjoy that you can do while you're alone. It might be painting. It might be, another kind of hobby. It might be writing or playing music. Unfortunately, I think social media kind of makes us feel bad about ourselves sometimes, because what I used to do when I was a teenager was, when I was alone, I used to go on social media, and that I would end up feeling kind of miserable after being on social media for a long time, because I would see that my friends were out together, or I would be looking at my crush or something like that, looking at my crush's profiles, things like that. And I would end up feeling really negative after having a social media binge in my alone time. So what happened over the years is I discovered that actually if I used my time more productive and I didn't use it on social media, and I actually used it in other ways, like working on a business or listening to audiobooks or listening to podcasts, lectures, finding a way to make proper use of that time, or even exercising, things like that, then I didn't actually mind so much being alone. And in fact, I actually felt kind of rejuvenated in it. Whereas before, I would feel really exhausted in my alone time. So I didn't actually mind being alone, because I was doing stuff that was productive and good for me, right? Because there's obviously things that you can do in that time when you're alone that does drain you. For example, for me, it was scrolling through social media for hours and hours and hours. That drained me, that made me feel negative. So obviously you want to be doing things in that alone time that is actually good for you, that nourishes you, that helps you grow, that helps you become a better person. Because if you're not using that time wisely, then basically you're essentially really just wasting your time. If you're not using it in a productive way, and you're not using that time to help better yourself in some way or to rejuvenate you, then you're not going to enjoy that alone time, right? You're only going to enjoy your alone time if what you're doing in it has a lot of meaning to you and gives you a lot of enthusiasm, and it just brings the juice into your life. So as long as you enjoy your alone time, then you shouldn't really mind being alone and feeling lonely. So another point that I want to make is to make sure that you don't use your loneliness as an excuse to rush into a relationship. Because this is what happens to a lot of people. They have their alone time and they really want to get into a relationship. But what happens is that they tend to rush then into a new relationship because they want to fill that gap. They want to fill that loneliness, which they really should have filled themselves with using that alone time more productively to help them feel better about themselves, right? Because if you're using your alone time unwisely, like scrolling through social media and doing things that are like instant gratification, like eating loads of junk food, drinking loads, if you're using it in a destructive way, then you're going to feel empty. But if you're using it in a meaningful way and being productive, or you're using it to focus on your hobbies and meeting up with your friends and having a good time and enjoying your life properly, then you don't mind so much being alone. When I used to live with my parents years ago, I used to love being alone. Like, I preferred it. I preferred to be on my own because I knew what I was going to be doing, I didn't want to be sitting downstairs with my parents watching TV because it felt kind of draining to me. Like, TV drained my energy. Like, I didn't feel good after watching hours and hours of TV. What made me feel good was when I could be alone in my room and I could read, or I could listen to an audiobook, or I could exercise. I wanted to be alone. I wanted to have that time away from that because I knew that I enjoyed being alone. I just found a way to make use of that time and to be productive. And it brought a lot of meaning into my life. I felt this kind of sense of relief when I walked into my bedroom and was able to shut the door. Like, because I knew then that I was like, I'm in my happy space. I can go and read. I can go and listen to something. I can go and exercise. I can have that time to be productive and feel like I'm actually doing something, as opposed to just sitting on the TV and just feeling drained after watching hour after hour of TV. And if you do really genuinely feel really, really lonely right now, if that's the reason why you've come across this video, go and call up a friend, call up your parents, call up or whoever's your guardians when you were growing up. Ask if you can meet up with someone who you really like, or go and arrange a date with someone if you're single. You don't have to be alone. You can reach out to someone. You can, extend that offering, extend to meet up with someone, and just have a chat with someone. You just ask, you send a message to one of your friends, ask if they're free, and then you can ask if you can call them up and just have a chat, if you're feeling really that lonely. But, if you find this like a common experience, if you feel like you really don't like being alone, then you need to start finding ways that you can enjoy being alone. Really alone. How can you make your time productive? How can you work on yourself? How can you, focus on your hobbies and doing things that bring you meaning and joy? And that's kind of like the place where you need to get to if you want to attract someone into your life. If you enjoy being alone, then it's not going to matter if the person that you start dating no longer wants to see you anymore, or they don't message you for a long time. It won't matter as much because you don't mind being alone. If you would like to get in touch with me personally, then go to www.christineloveridge.com. On the shop page of that website, you'll be able to find a free PDF download, which is a dating and relationship manual. And if you read that and you enjoy it, or if you have any critiques or anything that you'd like me to add, then please let me know so I can make it the best product possible for those people that want it. Thank you so much.